My name is Mercedes. I am a DC-based artist, and what I do is I reveal invisible power dynamics and structures in between the art institution, the artist, and the viewer by using law as form. And so I'm very interested in how can an artist contract, how can copyright, how can all of these invisible legal dynamics, legal forms, legal structures, which are so often used in the art world and as an artist, how can they themselves become the medium of a work of art? At the Arlington Art Center, I have a site-specific installation. I recreated my studio, and so it's showing all of the contracts which I've written in the past, and also the contract that I wrote with the art institution for this work, and the terms of those contracts, and how they themselves become works of art. And I also have another piece which is called The Meeting of the Minds. And it's called The Meeting of the Minds because any type of contract or contract negotiation has to be, otherwise it won't work, a meeting of the minds. And so in this case, the meeting of the minds is an agreement that the viewer comes into with the art institution, and that I am trying to disrupt as the artist. And the installation really came out of my interest of unilateral contracts. And in this case, I was really thinking about how is a wall text, which we've all experienced in the art world, which you read before you enter into an exhibition, how is that in many ways manipulating the viewer, and how is that a unilateral contract? Because essentially what the viewer does is that they read all these things about what they're expected to see, what they're expected to believe, what they're expected to feel. By entering into the exhibition, they then seal that contract. And so a unilateral contract is something which happens so commonly within the art world. Instead of it being signed, if you act as though you have signed it, then it is signed. So in this case, even though the viewer has not signed a document or a contract, they are still entering into a contract with the art institution by walking through the entrance doors after reading the wall text. And so in this piece that I've made, I have these very shiny decal letters, which are on the entrance of the exhibition on the same wall, actually, as the wall text for the space. And I'm presenting all of these lofty ideals that would be wonderful if they happen. So for instance, one is you are now entering a space where bureaucracy bends to the will of artists. And so all of these really lofty ideals, which are at the basis of contemporary art. But at the same time, as the viewer is exiting the space, I have all of these small exit signs and exit decals, which are saying you are now exiting a space which was designed to control your mind, body, and soul. And I, the artist, release you of your desire to be controlled. And so I'm hoping that in these ways, as people exit the gallery and exit the exhibition and they see these spaces, they reconsider how were they manipulated before they entered into the exhibition, what type of contract did they come into, and were the views and the decisions, the artistic or otherwise, that they made about the work, were they really their own, or were they manipulated by the art institution itself?